Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode, another segment of the Administrator Masterclass, a sneak peek into some of the materials, some of the programs and the products and services that the administrator is able to offer to any organization. My name is Tunde Disu, and it's an honor to have you with us again on this program. This is the fourth aspect, the fourth edition of this program, and the reports, the feedback that we have been receiving from the previous episodes definitely demonstrate that this is something that is needed, especially within the not-for-profit organization sector. So we are happy that we're able to offer this service, and again, it would be great to hear from you, to be able to come alongside you and work with you as we move your organization together to that next level. On today's program, we're looking at another topic within the Administrator Masterclass portfolio. And the topic we're looking at today is Advert and Publicity. Advert and Publicity. Now, I know as soon as people hear the word advert and publicity, a lot of images is being sent to your mind, to your inner eyes, to your brain, and you begin to see different things. This exactly is what advert and publicity is about. It is to paint a picture, is to put an image before your eyes, and then it will register in your subconscious mind. And every time you hear that name, you hear that brand, you hear that tone, or you see a sign or a symbol, a logo, whatever that relates to that particular product or service or advert, immediately the advert will come back to you. So that is what advertisement is all about, is to keep the image before your eyes. Now, you may ask, so what has that got to do with, for instance, a church, a ministry, an NGO? Everything. It's got everything to do with it. And by the time we finish tonight, you will understand, you will agree with me that this is a vital key. This is a vital ingredient that every organization must take seriously. And it's not surprising that major global organizations, they put a lot of effort, a lot of resources behind adverts and publicity. And we will cover some of this tonight as we go along on this program. Thank you for all those who are joining. You are welcome. It's an honor to have you on this program. Thank you. Now, on to business. When you hear the word advertisement or advert in a short form, what does it mean? What is the meaning of the word advert or advertisement? An advertisement is a notice or an announcement. It is a notice or an announcement that is made in a public or made through a public medium promoting a particular goods or services or an event or even a person. So an advert or an advertisement is a notice or an announcement that is made via a public medium promoting a service, a good, an event, or a person. Now, when you look at that definition, you immediately begin to see the importance of having an advert about your organization, about your service, about your goods, about your product, about your event, because it is putting whatever it is you are promoting, you are putting it before the public. And that is why the definition says it is done via a public medium. You are putting that project, that person, that event, that product or service before the public, making the public aware of the availability of that particular item or event. So when we talk about publicity, then what does it mean? What is the meaning of publicity? Publicity is a notice or an attention given to someone or given to something by the media. Publicity is a notice or attention given to someone or to something or to a product or to a service or to an event by the media. So when you combine these two definitions, you now begin to see the weight and the importance of advert and publicity. You see, every church and every ministry, in fact, every organization, but let's zero in on church and ministry for illustration's sake on this program tonight. Every church and every ministry has two sides to it. There is the spiritual side, and then there is the natural side or the business side. The spiritual side and the natural or the business side. And these two must go hand in hand for the organization to maximize its influence, to expand and be able to deliver on the core principles of why it is set up in the first place. So any organization, but using a church or a ministry as an example here, has a spiritual side and a business side. And this is very important that we must carry the two together, or else that organization will be walking on a limb. Advert and publicity therefore relates particularly to the natural or the business side of the organization. When we talk about the advert and the publicity, we're talking about it is zeroed in on the natural, on the business side of the organization. However, its effect, the effect of running or having a promotion, an advert or a publicity, the effect of it is felt even on the spiritual side. And we will cover this again as we go along tonight. So it is not just limited to the natural or the business side, although that is where it starts from. The truth is this, ladies and gentlemen, advert and publicity is no longer a luxury. For any organization, for any entity, advert and publicity is no longer a luxury. It has become an essential necessity that every organization must have, must embark upon, must carry out, must invest in order for you to stay competitive in the market that we're in today. So I don't want people to think, oh, it's just an advert. There is nothing like just an advert. And tonight we're going to look at the benefits of what it means to run an advert, and maybe that will give more credence to what I'm saying. So when you, as an organization, when you start to think of running an advert or a publicity campaign, what prompted that? How did you come to that decision? Because as an organization, as the administrator, we will let you know that you don't just start an advert and a publicity. There has to be some planning towards it. There has to be some thought behind it. There has to be some homework, as it were, that you must have done in order for you to maximize and get the full benefit of running an advert or a publicity campaign. What is the message you're trying to get out? What message are you trying to send to the public? What image are you trying to project? What is the response you are expecting from the public from the advert that you're running? What is the means of the public feeding back to you? All these are some of the homework that you have to do before you start an advert and publicity campaign. And that is where the administrator, as an organization, will come readily to help, to support, to guide you, to help you manage the structure of your advert and publicity. There are two types of There are two types of running an advert and a publicity campaign. You can either go the traditional way or you go the modern way. It can be done either via the traditional way or you can do it via the modern way. When I say traditional way, what do I mean? Mostly the traditional way deals with printing. That's where the newspaper, your magazine, the journals, the flyers, the handbills, the mail shot, the leaflets, even souvenir, billboards, and all of that comes under the traditional way of running an advert and a publicity campaign. Now, just because they are traditional doesn't mean they are of less effect. They have their place. They are still very effective if it is well planned, if it is well delivered, if it is well executed, and it is well managed. They still have a tremendous power to reach the target of where you want the advert to go. So the traditional way still have its place. I know we live in a society that is on a fast pace where everything is now on technology and this and that. But the traditional means of advertisement, they still have their place in our midst. The modern way of running an advert is either you go on air. It could be via a radio program or a radio advert. It could be via television. You could do a sponsorship. You could do an interview or any other means of being on the air so that people can hear about you, can know about you, can know about your product or your service. You can do that on air. But the where we are as a society today is that we are all running on the internet. We are all running on the internet. And if you are not currently present on the internet, well, you need to call the administrator. Because that is where you need to be. That is where you need to make your presence known, because that is where your audience and your target and your market, that is where they live. And if your advert is not directed to your proposal and your target audience, it's just a waste of money, resources, and effort. That is why you need to talk to the administrator as an organization so that we can help you, put you on the map, as it were, in the social world that we live in today. So when it comes to the internet, we're talking of your website. You need to have a website. All the social media put together, you need to be, your presence has to be there. And the truth is, everything in life have the good and the bad side. It depends on how you use it. I know a lot of people are not comfortable with the social media because of this or that, but at the same time, it is still the fastest and the most effective way today to reach a target audience. So don't let the bad side of it put you off. There are ways you can do it, you can manage it, and that is what the administrator as an organization can do for you. So you have your website, you have the social media, you can have a blog as well, where you share your heart with your audience and your followers. So all these are ways by which you can run an advert or a publicity campaign. But like I said earlier on, before you embark on it, you have to do your homework. And in doing your homework, what are you doing? What is required of you? What should you be looking at? What should you be considering? How should you plan it? The way to do it is to ask yourself the all-important question: why? Why? Why are we doing this? And in order to answer that question, you have to have set a goal to answer the why. So before you run an advert and publicity campaign, set a goal. What do you want to achieve from it? What is the purpose of this program, of this advert, of this publicity? Number two, set a target of the audience that you want to reach. Your message is for a specific audience. You need to identify those audience and target your advert to them in order for you to maximize the return. Number 3, you need to set a budget. You need to have a budget set aside for your advert and publicity campaign. Then determine how are you going to run it. Are you going to do a DIY where you do it yourself, or are you going to get a professional like the administrator and agent who can handle, who can plan and manage and execute it for you? And these are some of the things you need to think through in planning or before you go out on advert and publicity. What are some of the benefits that will accrue to you as a result of running advert and publicity once it is done, and it is done well, especially if it's done by professionals? Number 1, it will give you an exposure to the world that you have not reached. The truth is, this world is big, it's large, it's massive, it's just great. And for you to reach the uttermost part of the world, there has to be a vehicle to take you there. And the advert and publicity vehicle is an excellent one. So one of the benefits that will accrue to you from running an advert and publicity campaign is that it will expose you to the world. Number 2, you build your brand. The society we live in today is a brand society. By you running an advert and a publicity campaign, you are building a brand. You are making people relate to you, know you, and come to think of you about in a certain way. Number 3, an advert and publicity will introduce you to a new market. Maybe you're already reaching a segment and you've not considered the other side of the segment. By running an advert and publicity, again based on being managed, being administered properly, you will reach a new set of markets, which you probably will not reach without the advert and publicity. Number 4, advert and publicity will help you build followership. It will help you build followership. And finally, it will increase your influence amongst your people, amongst your followership, even in the face of the entire world. Because that is what advert and publicity can do if it is done well. And that is why I am saying to you, don't just do a cheap thing. Don't just do it on the way everybody does it. Get a professional. Get people who know what they are saying, who know what they're doing, who know how to do it, like the administrator, to come and sit down with you to talk through all these steps that we have covered tonight, so that you can maximize the benefits that will accrue to you for running an advert and publicity campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tunde Disi again from the administrator. As an organization, we have the necessary tools, we have the necessary experience, the manpower to deliver maximally in every aspect of your organization that needs somebody who's been there, done it with years of experience to help you see through this maze of society that we live in. Give us a call today. Don't delay. Make that phone call today. 0771 265 3428. That's 0771 265 3428. Make that call today. Send that email today. The email address is info@the-administrator.org. info@the-administrator.org. It could just be the best decision you will make this year for your organization. For more information, we wait to hear from you so that we can take this responsibility off your table, so that you can focus on the core issue, the core assignment for which your organization is set up. Once again, the Elisha Project, the privilege of serving leaders, is still available. It's on Amazon in Kindle format and also in paperback format. It will be a tool in your hand When you go through the pages of this book, it will help you either as a church leader, as a ministry leader, as a church worker, or as somebody in the office. You just want to learn more how to serve, how to be a blessing to somebody else. This is the book for you. I can assure you, by the time you finish reading this book, even the people around you will notice the difference, because this is not just this is not based on wishful thinking. The content of this book is based on over 20 years of practical hands-on experience. So once again, it's on Amazon. Elisha Project, The Privilege of Serving Leaders. Get yourself a copy today. Get one for your friend too. Mother Day is coming. Get one for your mother. She will appreciate you for it. So until tomorrow, when we meet again on another episode of a sneak peek into the masterclass of the administrator, this is Tunde Disu once again saying, God bless you and thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.